Mrs. Anna Zdravje will now present the new IFLA Guidelines for Green and Sustainable Libraries. Anna Zdravje is a member of the Standing Committee of IFLA's ENSULIB section, Environment, Sustainability and Libraries, and head of the Jože Mazovec Library, part of the Ljubljana City Library Network. She has been active in the field of librarianship since 2001. Since 2014, she has been managing the Central Šentvid Library in Ljubljana, and she also serves as the regional coordinator for Slovenia at the Ljubljana City Library. She contributed her expertise as a member of the working group at the National and University Library, which developed the professional recommendations and standards for public libraries 2018-2028. Anna is an active professional in the library field. She regularly publishes articles, speaks at national and international conferences, and since 2019, she has been the president of the Ljubljana regional section of the Slovenian Library Association. Her work extends beyond national borders. As a member of IFLA's ENSULIB section, she contributes to the global development of environmentally and socially sustainable library practices.
Gospa Ana Zdravje bo predstavila nove smernice IFLA za zelene in trajnostne knjižnice. Ana Zdravje je članica stalnega odbora sekcije IFLA ENSULIB ter vodja knjižnice Jožeta Mazovca, ki deluje v okviru mestne knjižnice Ljubljana. V knjižničarstvu je aktivna že vse od leta 2001. Od 2014 vodi osrednjo knjižnico Šentvid v Ljubljani, poleg tega pa kot regijska koordinatorica sodeluje pri številnih projektih mestne knjižnice Ljubljana. Njeno strokovno delo je zaznamovalo tudi sodelovanje v delovni skupini Narodne in univerzitetne knjižnice, kjer je prispevala k pripravi strokovnih priporočil in standardov za splošne knjižnice za obdobje od 2018 do 2028. Ana je dejavna članica knjižničarske skupnosti. Redno objavlja strokovne članke, sodeluje na nacionalnih in mednarodnih konferencah, od leta 2019 pa vodi ljubljansko regionalno sekcijo Zveze bibliotekarskih društev Slovenije. Njeno delovanje presega lokalne okvire. Kot članica IFLIne sekcije za okolje, trajnostni razvoj in knjižnice prispeva k razvoju trajnostno usmerjenih knjižničarskih praks tudi na mednarodni ravni.
Dobar dan, good morning everybody. Thank you for your invitation and thank you that you organized this event. I'm really pleased that I'm here. Today I will talk in English because I'm here as a member of IFLA ENSULIB. So now we can start it. We have it now, IFLA Guidelines for Green Libraries. We worked on this project for 1.5 years, I must say, very intensive. And this guidelines was edited by Petra Hauke, and she is our leader, our working group. This is how it's looked like, the first side. It was edited by Petra Hauke and Antonia. She's from University Sydney of Australia, and Mrs. Priscilla, she's University of Macau Library. And this is the first edition of the IFLA Guidelines. This is a result of a collaborative effort among individuals from across the globe. And the guidelines team was led by Petra Hauke, and she is really an expert on this field. And with contributions from IFLA Environment, Sustainability and Library Section members. There are a lot of other people who really are interested for years about this topic. And it was also a team there who supported by other IFLA units, for example, library building section. And also we have it a workshop in Barcelona at library conference in Barcelona last year. And there is also they give us also feedback from public, from people there, what they think about these guidelines. Pardon. And what is the background that you must know? This is also very important because this is not a project which happens in this only 1 year. At first, that was a checklist, for example, by Klaus Ulrich Werner. It was a precursor to the guidelines. Then we have ENSULIB book publications, different 3, for example, are here, Going Green. Then we have new libraries in old buildings. Then we have libraries driving the education for sustainable development. That is a book project who will realize in June this year also. And developing the guidelines has been on the ENSULIB agenda since its foundation as a special interest group in 2009. And ENSULIB then get a section status. And then that was then the first step that we are really going to do these guidelines, because it was very important for this field in library, for libraries, for librarians, for development this field in our libraries, because it was needed. And the formation of the project group was initiated in 2033, and now that final draft was submitted to the IFLA Advisory Committee on Standards in April 2025, and the committee approval is expected for June 2025. It is not yet, it's on approval now. Now you can see with this graphic what is important. At first, as you see, a green library. Then we have economic sustainability, that we have social sustainability and environmental sustainability. Yesterday we have talked about it a lot, but now we have it in one document. And what is the field, what is important in one green library? At first you see staff training and development. Then we have operation and maintenance. Then we have library collections. Then we have services and programs. Then we have law, ethics, and traditionals. Then we have library buildings and equipment. Then we have how to monitoring and evaluation. That's very important things. It's not only green library. In these documents you can find, for example, at the first chapter, Green Library Principles, a brief overview, what that means, communication engagement. Then we have accessibility and inclusion. Then we have resources efficiency. Then we have information and communications technology. Then we have buildings and equipment and useful resources. In this chapter you can find also useful resources, but it's very important that you get the knowledge, then skills, and then develop the program. And that's for the first. Then you have to staff training and development. What that means? You have to tailor training for library staff. Then you have online resources for cost-effective training. Then you have also here in this chapter useful resources. You can find more information for your library, for your programs, and how to develop this field. Then you have operations and maintenance. You have to put strategic goals in your program. Then you have exemplarity, marketing, how to manage this, and promotion, partnerships, visibility, library management. That's all included in one, how to operate and how to maintain the library. Then you have library collections. That's very important for a library. And how we have the environmental and social impact with social collections, how we reach this. Then preservation of cultural heritage material, and also you can find useful resources, you can find very interesting links, and you can find a lot of knowledge if you want. This document, I must say, includes a lot of resources which can you study, never-ending study. And I'm working on green libraries now for 10 years, and I must say that I'm still learning a lot. With these documents I learned, and I'm still will learning in the future. And that's really, I must say, very, it's not easy, just green. We're all talking about green, but when you started to develop these things, it's not so easy. Then one field is law, ethics, and traditions, legal consideration, ethnical consideration, then traditional knowledge, and then we have library buildings, equipment. We have also section in IFLA, and how to project, how to organize financially the project, how to organize the spaces in library, facades, rooftop and outdoor spaces, building climate, lighting, water management, construction and indoor materials, building design that supports preservation and conservation, then different certificates and so on. It's really a lot. And that must also librarian get the knowledge from this if you want to project the library in the future. Then you have monitoring and evaluation, how to do this. You can find also instructions in this document, monitoring framework, then incremental goals and continuous improvement, and reporting and communications and how we do this, and also resources you have. And then we have some case studies and best practices. We have, also Green Library Award. We have different projects already. They get the award, and I'm really glad. And I must say, for 2016, the development, really in 10 years, it was really big. Now we have these sorts of projects that I cannot believe when I look at the videos and so on from Chinese project and some Australia, Canada. That's really impressive, and Paris and so on. Okay. And we have also Green Library, then Green Library projects, and then special recognition. We can also, with minimal resources, have a big impact. And that's also important that if we don't have a lot of money, just like other countries maybe, we can do also with small projects, but just do something that to have impact in local community. And this you can also show in the world, you know. And conclusion. Then you have also some appendix that's really we talked about in our group. What is very important that we have also when we started to plan. And here you have Green Library networks and initiatives. You can find all chapter. Then you have funding opportunities, grants and awards, different links for that. Then you have references and further readings, a lot. Further readings, and then a glossary of terms. If you don't understand some of words, it's fine that you can find and what we are meaning about this word in a document. First of all, it is also important that we know what a green library is. And that is important that you know the definition. I said it's an environmental, economic, and social sustainability, but green library can be of any size. But they must include some agenda, green library buildings and equipment, then green office principles, sustainable economy, then sustainable library services, social sustainability, environmental management, and these goals are SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound, then commitment to general environmental goals and programs. That you know, commitment is guided by the United Nations certificates and programs, you know, the Agenda 2030, from 2015 it was written, but we still try to achieve the goals, and so on. And of course, the UNESCO Education for Sustainable Development Programs, that's also very important that we put in our programs for green libraries, that we included that also. Maybe. And what green libraries means in our local community, that means that we educate local communities on the subject of sustainable development, and program must really based on this and must be carefully planned. And with these two documents, which I think is the most important on this field. Maybe here I will just how we can reach the goals in local community, but this is really you have to be creative, you have to know good your local community, you have to know what your resources is, financial, staff, and spaces, and all these things can have impact on your program. And this is why we cannot say, you must so do this program. You must be creative, you can ask, but you must try. And try it with project first for 3 years, and then you can develop your program for next 10 years maybe. You can see collections, exhibitions, lectures, events, maker spaces, shared resources such as saving machines, toolkits, musical instruments, and more. And you can have urban gardens, seed libraries, citizen science, repair cafes that we all already have heard a lot about this project. These activities provide libraries with excellent opportunities to influence public awareness and offer a platform for engagement and sustainable development. For example, workshops for adults, workshops for children and youths. That's a sample build that I'm not going to just show you. And some partners from local community you can invite and for your users in library. And of course, cooperation is very important. I would like to say something about my international cooperation and the SDGs. Ljubljana City Library holds Erasmus accreditations for adult education 21-27. And one of the main priorities with this framework is the development of new courses in sustainable development to promote environmental sustainability and responsibility. Format is organizing job shadowing and participation in courses of training for Ljubljana City Library and employees, as well as group mobilize of adult learners, and of course with focus on sustainable practice. A lot of words, sustainability. Example, we have job shadowing in Barcelona in October 2024 for members of the Green Librarians Working Group at Ljubljana City Library. I was there invited as a member, IFLA ENSULIB, but I took an opportunity and took some co-workers to go with me with Erasmus program that they learn some skills and they will in the future develop some programs, and they were impressed, and they will do the next steps in the future in 2-3 years, and they are already working in working group and so on, and we have all the results. But that is the knowledge. You have to get first knowledge. Then relevance, the Erasmus Plus program offers many opportunities to implement the Sustainable Development Goals, and you really must take this advance, that you can now learn when you have these programs in Europe and so on. Is ready to share its experience also with other Slovenian and other librarians in abroad. Then the conclusion, I will be very... the objective of this document is to provide a tool for the planning, implementation and evaluation of green libraries. Then the document is also intended to serve as a framework for the development of national guidelines framework. Then the guidelines are applicable to all libraries wishing to implement sustainable measures, regardless of their size, focus, or location, and can be adapted to reflect local circumstances and needs. They reflect a range of library services that can be selected for delivery in most countries by dedicated library staff. And the guidelines are intended to support national and local government policies based on the United Nations 2030 Agenda, 17 Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. And the last slide. The guidelines can be achieved in most contexts, and that the document provides a starting point for environments where green libraries are not widely evident or well supported. For example, we have a lot of potential to do this on this field in Slovenian and regional. They aim to help promote the achievement in various communities or the organization, including local municipal schools and university and special library settings. The guidelines are aimed at librarians, library administrations, and administrative bodies, designers and architects, facility managers, and other stakeholders responsible for the creation, management, and funding of libraries of all types. This is a document for all these experts on this field. And using the guidelines, planners should determine the priorities for their library and consider that what is feasible within its contexts. And they might either be the minimum for minimum standards, but then you can achieve more and more through the years and to develop your program. Thank you very much for your attention.